Mike, we got to go through your Pats division, buddy.
Okay, we're gonna start with the Patriots, please. All right, so the Patriots.
Please take it away. I maestro this whole division, I think.
I saw your sheet. I love you. I mean it, but you're wrong. The Patriots are going to go 4-13, and 4 is their fucking ceiling, as it should be. Their offensive line is terrible, and what they've done in with Drake Maye this offseason, this training camp, I think that they put themselves in a no-win situation where if I were them, I would have made Drake Maye like the number 3 starter. Number 3 quarterback. I would not put him as the backup because I think there's a real possibility that Jacoby's going to get hurt. Drake's going to come in game 2 or 3, and then we're really fucked. You might ruin this kid. I'm so down on the Patriots, but that's where we're supposed to be right now, in the sense of they don't have a great quarterback yet. They should let him cook a little bit. I think their receivers. This is probably the best skill room that they've had since Brady left, which I'm happy about. But the offensive line just isn't anywhere good enough. So, and everyone in the division got better, aside from Buffalo a little bit. But the Jets are way better than they were last year, and I fucking hate Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, so when I was thinking about their wins, I was just going off this thing that kept rolling around in my head of like we were talking about them having like a borderline elite or elite defense
about
2 years ago.
And last year. They had a top 10 defense
last year.
Yeah.
And I think their defense is still good and has improved significantly in the offseason with some, I think, shrewd defensive contract signings. I think losing key guys to injury
and Judon,
trading Judon, it signaled to us that the Patriots have given up on having
that Barmore injury was brutal. That was the start.
Yeah. I mean, I think that makes the Judon trade happen. I think if he doesn't get hurt, the Pats I think they keep Judon, right? But I think once he gets hurt, they're like, all right, fuck it. Let's take the 3rd round pick. Like, whatever. I agree the offensive line is Swiss cheese. And I just took a look at the schedule, and honest to God, I don't know if I can find 2 wins. Honest to God, I don't know if I can find.
Thank you. I'm telling you.
Bengals, Seahawks is 1 win they could potentially. I think they could beat the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are a little more dysfunctional than people think.
They've also beat the Bills once a year for the last 3 years.
But this is just me like at my most trying to find wins. Okay. Most possibly trying to find wins.
It's not happening.
Bengals, they lose. Seahawks, they win. Jets, they lose. 49ers, they lose. Dolphins, they lose. Texans, they lose. Jags, this is a bad schedule. Jags, they lose. They could maybe beat the Jags. Like there's like a 3% chance.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Jets, divisional game.
No.
Divisional game, right? Something. Titans, they'll win. That's a game I think they can win. Bears, I hope they lose. Rams, I think they lose. Dolphins loss, Colts loss, Cardinals possible win. Cardinals is a possible.
Yeah, I have Cardinals, Jags, and then what was that first one? God,
Seahawks.
Yeah, those are my 3.
Jacksonville too. You said Jacksonville.
Those are my 3.
So if those are your 3, they're probably
even those are tough wins though. Even those are tough.
They're probably not going to win all 3 of those games. Is the thing.
They're not. Don't tell it.
So if those are the 3 that you can possibly find, they're probably not going to win all 3.
I also have them splitting once with the Bills.
I think we should put them at 2 wins.
Thank you, please.
You know what?
Because
of all the times that I acquiesced in you.
But it's your team. No, I'm not. I don't want to do that because it's your team. If you know better than I do here. You know better than I do here. I'm just putting it in your mind to let you just roll it around for a second.
Give me 3-14. That way I can still hedge to 4-13.
Okay, that's fine. I think 4 wins that means they win every game they could possibly win.
Well, I also listen. I think that they might overperform my expectations. Okay. My expectations are 3 to 4 wins.
Great. So we're going 3-14. Great. Jets. I have 7-10 again.
I have the Jets at 10-7.
Okay.
This is a conversation.
Wow.
So I think honestly, like the biggest concern for me is their their defense, their defensive line, right? You Hassan Reddick still holding out. Offensively, this is going to be the best Jets team that we've probably seen in our lifetime.
We agreed last week on 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers. We were on the same page. What happened? Who got to you? Who got to you, man?
I hate Aaron Rodgers. TK.
What are we doing here?
I hate him. I do.
Me too.
But
me too. This is what we do. This is the fun thing we get to do every year.
I know.
He's always switching conferences so we can shit on him. It's great.
It's the thought, if he's healthy, him, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, I think even Tyler Conklin's going to have a good year because Rodgers loves his tight ends. And I mean that in every way possible. I just think, how many wins did they have last year?
7.
Well, you got 7, yeah. Was Zach
Wilson? I think that Aaron Rodgers is 3 wins better than Zach Wilson.
Okay.
I just do.
That's probably that. Listen, everything you said, I agree with. And I'm just going to button it with one counterpoint. I agree that their skill positions are good. Their 10 wins good. I really like their defense. They're one of my top 5 favorite defenses if I was ranking them and like fun to watch. I think that Saleh has them like going through their tackles, running at 1,000 miles an hour, getting to their spots, getting tackles done first time, doing the simple stuff right. It's a lot of what I like about the Bears D coming into this year. I think Aaron Rodgers is such an asshole. Is such an asshole that he's going to fuck all that up to the tune of 7 and 10. That's all I got. I really think he's a prick. And I think everyone hates him. And I think that when your quarterback's that guy, he hasn't been good in 3 years, Mike. He hasn't been even good in 3 years. The name recognition thing has to at some point wear off. I agree that this is probably the best situation he's been in since he was 35, but I don't think Saleh likes him as a person.
Can we say 9 and 8 then?
Yeah, that's more reasonable. I was doing Aaron Rodgers bias hatred. That's completely reasonable. 9
Listen, I'm with you. I love it.
I'm glad you're here for the fucking voice of reason. Dolphins.
I have them at 12 and 5. I mean, I know that it's not the same Odell Beckham, but it is, and he's their number 3 wide receiver this year.
I put the same thing. I mean, they're sick. Their offensive line's still trash, but apparently Tua can throw it in like 0.76 seconds or whatever the fuck. So like, great. I think their offense is going to look sick in the good weather for the first part of the season. Their schedules has obviously some tough games because of like how good they were last year with 11 wins, but they have some sunny weeks in Miami coming to them. So yeah, I think you can go find 12 wins. I'm cool with that. It's not a conversation. We're good. 12 and 5. Man, the Buffalo Bills, I don't know. I think they're about to fall apart. I think it's time. I think it's time finally. Yeah. Okay. I had them at 9 and 8, but I'm willing because it's your division to go up if we talk it through for 1 second. I do still like Josh Allen. I think he's a good QB. I think he's lost weapons now. They've never been able to figure out the running game, and that is an offense that needs the running game to work. I think he's a really good passer of the ball. I think qualities like he can throw a good ball no matter what position his body is in is a trait that I've come to really appreciate watching Caleb Williams in the preseason as I desperately try to look for all the good things I can possibly like cram into my brain as I watch him play football, even for brief snippets in preseason games. I do like Josh Allen. I just think they're worse on both sides of the ball, and his guy left. So to me, the season after your guy leaves season, single digit wins, unless your name is Tom Brady or Peyton Manning. So
Patrick Mahomes.
Fair enough. I'll give you 10. I'll give you 10 and 7. You won't see a fight from me there. I do sort of see they're going to do that thing that they always do where they lose games they should win, the
argument for both of us would be, what do you think is more likely, 11 wins or 8? And if you think it's 8, then let's do 9 and
8. I mean, they're not a bad enough team to only win 8 games, right?
Right.
Not in that division.
Not yet.
Not when they get to play the Patriots twice. Sorry.
Right, that's I'm
not trying to be a dick.
Come on, what are we doing?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 10 and 7. Sounds good. Ray, what'd you have, Matt? Just out of curiosity.
Buffalo. Let's see. I had Buffalo at.
I had
Buffalo at 10 and 7 as well. So I had Miami 11 and 6, New York and Buffalo at 10 and 7, and I had New England at 2 and 15.
You and I were closer
you-
with the closer with the Pats, but you were more on Mike's side than with New York and probably the Bills. But we're agreeing on the Bills.
Listen, I don't, and I don't, and like I said, I'm still baffled that Mike found a way to talk into 4 wins. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like,
The Pats?
Yeah, there's no fucking way.
They're
bro.
his team, dude. I can't. Like, he's.
No, they're my team too. But
I know, but you're not on my team.
no.
Like, he's on his ears to the ground. You know, I have to defer.
Like, there's no way. There's no way they win.
You abandoned teams during rebuilds, right? You already told us that. So we settled on 3. We settled on 3 and 14.
Bobby on the Pats.
I'm with you. I find it hard to find 2 wins. 2 wins.
Yeah,
2 wins is.
But you
push.
found 12 for the fucking Cowboys.
Okay, don't try and discredit him. Don't try and discredit him. That's not fair. That's the fanhood. The fanhood doesn't.
Listen,
like disliking the Pats. Come on.
He's discrediting.
That's
started it.
It started.
Wait, Mike, you picking 4 is equivalent to Bobby picking 12.
We did but in fairness, we picked 3, and
I picked 3.
We picked
I know. I'm saying that's what you compromised on, but I'm saying
it makes sense though, right? Because I was like, I can see them winning 2 games, which you and I agree on, Ray.
Right.
And if you think about it, Mike agrees too. He can see them winning 2 games because we're covered. So
to be fair, in the show we did last week, like I was at the Charles River, like I was on the bridge, and I said 1-16. Mike was like, "Come on, like there could be 1 more game." I was like, you're right.
But for the purposes and the logic of this show, you can't make a 1-game win prediction because they're not going to win 0 games. Like
0,
most likely, right? Like just statistically in the horoscope of the NFL.
Let's put
Farmer's Almanac.
No, could you fucking imagine if they went 0-17? Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
I can.
It's fucking possible. It's definitely possible.
It's not possible.
All right. Okay, guys, but it's fine.
Your defense is legitimately has decent players on it. Like
no, that's been the case. Once again, we talked about this last week. I don't want to get too much rabbit, but it's like they had 3 or 4 games in a row last year, and Mike
won 4 games last year.
No, I'm saying but they had 3 or 4 games, but they allowed 10 or less points.
What if Drake Maye comes in week 7 and starts balling out? Because to Mike's point,
I want to see him play anyways. But
to Mike's point, he's like fucking the offensive line's so bad that it's a death sentence for whoever fucking starts in that position. And then Drake Maye comes in and he's just good, so he just avoids that being a problem. Like a la CJ Stroud last year, and all of a sudden, the team we were the lowest on last year coming into that season was the fucking Texans because that roster was trash.
Yeah,
we didn't know that the coach was good because the coach was a non-entity. And the QB was a non-entity. It's the exact same situation. The Pats could win 9 games. Mike, we have to open the case file. Let's reassess. They might be the Texans of this year.
I mean, listen, that would be crazy if that was the case. I highly doubt it, but that would be crazy if that happened.
I'm just glad I got it on tape.
But we need Will Campbell, and I'm like me and Mike agree on that. We need Will Campbell. Yes. Left tackle from LSU. So I actually hope they keep losing because that means the stock will be lower and teams won't be running against him. So he'll fall right to our lap. So yeah, please, we need Will Campbell badly. But yeah, like I said, 2 wins would be a miracle. Honestly.
I just want to hedge though. I just want to put a button on the Patriots conversation with the fact that I do think it is a thing that you drafted well in Drake Maye. I think. I mean, obviously it's hard to know from the preseason, but from just my rudimentary understanding of what a good quarterback looks like, he looked pretty good to me. A lot of people are really down on him already, which I think is about as illogical as being even as up on him as I am. But because the coach and the quarterback are an unknown, the ball's still in the air, guys. Bobby, were we way off the mark with any other teams other than the Pats that jumped out to you? I feel like it's not a terribly complicated division to call. I mean, I know Ray had the Dolphins at 11 wins and we settled on 12, but like the same as last year, thereabouts. They did go down pretty fucking diabolically last year, and fucking hell, they need a winter vacation if they're gonna. I think if the Dolphins could only play in the sunshine, they would win every fucking game.
The Cowboys in the AFC. That's what I would say about the Dolphins.
Yeah, except for the way better players. But
I would say Buffalo is not Miami.
Yeah,
I think
Buffalo rings.
Yeah, Miami just got back into this tier. Once again, it was curtains for a long time down there. It was quiet out there. I know it was real quiet. Okay, every time another team came in, the fans took over Hard Rock Stadium. I was gonna say Pro Player. I'm showing my age there. Hard Rock Stadium. They took over. So it's just now getting back to where it was, where the Dan Marino days, and even for our childhood with Jay Fiedler and Ricky Williams and Chris Chambers, that crew like that, they're just getting back to that now.
Bobby, anything on the Jets before we sign off this division?
I'm higher on the Jets than you guys are. I think Aaron Rodgers has a big comeback here. I know that's
At
like
40?
much dismay and pain to you guys, but
At 40.
So I mean, you and I on board. I said the same thing.
I mean, I had about 10-7. I
got
compromised.
So I think so too.
No, I do already know that I'm lower on the Jets than like honestly the majority of people coming into this season, but I have to put my flag on the fuck Aaron Rodgers flagpole every single year. So here we are. Sometimes I'm right lately though, is the thing. So that's why I was just a little bit.
Well, I mean, you could absolutely be spot on with this, and I would not be surprised if you.
We'll see. I mean, I could see your guys's. I mean, obviously, like the smarter money's probably on your bet, to be honest, about the Jets, but I fuck them.